Want to be a billionaire of views in only one video on YouTube? Well, stick around and I'll give you 3 tips that could help you make your dream a reality. I'm John Paulus. Thanks for joining me today on Life's Potluck Buffet. All right. So before I get to the 3 tips, I want to draw today's card from the Life's Potluck Buffet card deck. 55 cards. The bottom card is card 17, which we drew yesterday. Everything that happens to us is only partly our doing. All right. So let me smooth them out a little bit, and I will shuffle them. Oh, first I have to do 3 casual shuffles. 1, 2, 3, just to mix them up a little bit, and then I'll do 1 thorough shuffle. Okay, there we go. And I look for the gap in the cards, and there it is. Really want to get to this card right here because that looks like where the gap is. All right, so here's today's card. Culture is a living being. Well, this is a rather fitting card. That's what I was talking about yesterday. The idea that how you start something and set a thing into motion and create a culture, and that's something that's partially in your control but not fully in your control sometimes. That is going to be how things are going forward, and that's how things begin, how they have a middle, and how they have an end. So let me read you this card. Every identifiable arrangement of human beings has a culture. Like any living being, cultures wish to reproduce themselves and stay alive. Cultures speak through their people without the people being aware of it. While still part of the culture, a person cannot stand apart from what keeps the culture alive. The culture will not allow it. Think of how those things apply to the cultures that you interact with in your life, and you'll see a lot that you haven't seen before. I promise. So, let's get to those 3 tips on getting a billion views in just one video. Tip number 1, without doubt, is it needs to be a music video. There aren't lots of videos with a billion views, certainly not ones with multi-billion views, that aren't music videos. That is the first step. So it has to be a music video. If you're going to plan that billion view video, make it a music video. So that's number 1. There is one video I noticed that seems to be a kind of more musical video, but that video features tip 2, which is make it for the kids. And I mean children, because there's nothing better for multiple views than to have kids want to hear or see a video again and again and again. So a music video for kids is going to be a guaranteed billion views if done in the right way. Now, what does that mean? It's clear to me that it needs to be a catchy song, but it doesn't need to be repetitive. It needs to be repetitive, that's for sure. Simple, that simplicity helps because that makes it, for some reason, appealing. And it has to have that. It's good if it would have a mix of live action and animation. So I'm thinking of, think for example of Baby Shark Dance. Apparently there's an original, I shouldn't say original, because this Baby Shark Dance apparently is, not in the public domain, the words, and maybe the song, but I guess not the song in the form that obviously it takes on these videos, and maybe the orchestration. But anyway, I understand that the song Baby Shark is in the public domain. And the key there is I understand that the original video in Korean, which is, oh, let me try to say this right. Sango gacho. I hope I said that right. If you are a Korean speaker out there, please let me know. And I believe that means shark family, which, for those of you familiar and considering it has 13 billion plus views, I'm sure pretty much everyone listening to this is familiar with the Baby Shark Dance, or at least can get familiar with it by watching it and adding to its 13 billion views. As you know, obviously the family is an important part of the shark song. But the original apparently is just animation, the original Korean one. And once you have the live action plus the animation in the new one, I think that really helps. Also, the new one is English language, which also just increased your speakers by like billions, right? So that I think that's important as well, that you can have a lot of views in most languages, but it has to be one where there are many billions of speakers. So English is a good example. Another good example, well, I'll get to that in a second, but the third tip has to do with this language thing. There is an older version, original version in German of Baby Shark Dance by Alexandra Müller, and it's called Kinderhai, Baby Shark. I learned that just recently, that Hai is, I think, the German word for shark. I didn't know that. I mean, I know some German. I'm, have some proficiency in German. I didn't know Hai was shark. I guess I've never heard anybody talk about sharks in German. Anyway, so Kinderhai, I watched that video. I'll put that one in the in the description so you can check it out, because it's what's the word I'm looking for here? It's something. And it's cool. It's like surreal. If you think that Baby Shark, the version by Pinkfong, the Korean group that has the 13 billion viewed video, is like the prototype or archetype of what Baby Shark Dance should be, I would point you to Alexandra Müller's video. And that video is real. It's surreal. That's the surreal version. That's the Life Potluck Buffet approved version of the Shark Dance song, because it's surreal. So that doesn't have a billion views because it doesn't follow those rules of, one, it's in German, which is not a language spoken by billions. Two, it's not animated or, a mix of animation and live action. And, well, I'll just let you check it out. It's in the description. Okay, so that's tip number 2. The final tip for the billion plus views on your video has got to be that language thing. There needs to be a crossover appeal no matter what language you're doing, because if it can hit many language groups, that means it's hitting lots of people. And if it crosses over and isn't like seen as a thing that people is only for English speakers, like if you did a video that was, I don't know, a reggaeton song based on Shakespeare's Twelfth Night for kids, I don't know. Maybe that would be a thought. Maybe that's a thought. But the point is that the Twelfth Night part, the Shakespeare part, maybe it's a little bit too. That doesn't have like the content that has the global appeal. If you had words from Shakespeare's Twelfth Night, people might be like, "What's going on here?" However, you don't need to be able to understand the language. Think about Gangnam Style. The Gangnam Style is only in Korean, but it's the song that makes the difference, and the dance and so forth. But that crossover appeal where people from any given language group can listen to your song and appreciate it is important. And also having buy-in to one of those groups, at least, in a big way. So I'll give you the best example is Luis Fonsi's Despacito with Daddy Yankee. And I think here that people thinking about the success of the song are not giving enough credit to Daddy Yankee, whose videos have hundreds of millions of views versus Luis Fonsi's videos, which don't. So because Daddy Yankee is the king of reggaeton, and the number of people in the reggaeton-loving world, which is, largely Spanish-speaking world, are gonna be excited to hear this. And it's a song that reaches folks in many language groups because it's clear that from the video what this is about, and it's simple. The message is simple. So I think that those elements are the three elements you want to really focus on if you want to have that billion plus video in one video. And that's music video, could be for kids. That gives you the best shot because there are lots of kids videos with many billions of views. We know why. And then finally there's that crossover appeal so that people in all groups, English speakers, Spanish speakers, Korean speakers, can all listen to your song, and that its message is either simple enough, or in the case of Gangnam Style, the dance plus the message really helps a lot as well. So good luck on your next video. I hope it gets 1 billion plus views, and I can't wait to watch it. See you next time on Life's Potluck Buffet.